My name is Rae Ellen Sievert. Some of you know me, and I've been an astrologer for over a long time. I think it's going on 50 years now, maybe more than that. But anyway, and I have experienced all types of astrology. And I am going to be blending. I kind of view myself as a galactic astrologer right now because I'm blending what's happening in our solar system and beyond, and to the star systems, and also into the actual constellations as we see them. So, the typical astrology that we know about, Western astrology, is kind of like a program that was put in place around 200 AD. And it divided each of the astrological signs into 30 degrees equally all the way around. And that worked for a while. And Vedic astrology is a little bit older, and it also divides all the each of the astrology signs into 30 degrees each. But there's 23 degrees difference between each of these because they go by the precession of the equinoxes. So in Vedic astrology, the signs have moved back at least 23 degrees. Okay. So that said, there's also been introduced to now true sky astrological. Oh God, I'm getting tongue twisted here. True sky sidereal astrology, and that's where the constellations are actually in our solar system as we speak, and where each of the planets fall into that. So I am going to be blending Western astrology, a little bit of Vedic astrology, and also true sky astrology. And the reason is for the past 2,000 years, the astrology that we have been experiencing, especially in the Western Hemisphere, have programmed our body a particular way so that when you tell someone their sun sign, if whatever they're born, like my grandson, I'll bring him up for sure. He was born on July 2nd, but in true sky sidereal astrology, he's really a Gemini. In Western astrology, he would be a Cancer. So his programmed energy through condition that we have gone through, actually, he has many Cancerian traits, but in actuality, he has many traits of a Gemini. So we can't just throw the baby out with the bathwater and say one is right and one is wrong. We are a blending of all of it. Just like we have a blending of our ancestral heritage. We're a blending of our mother, our father, all the heritages that go back through time and space and dimensions. We have heritages from our star lineages, our star seed lineages. So we have all of that. This is the chart. Okay, so this is the chart. This is a Western chart. Okay, but it's important to know this because remember I said Western astrology has its programs set in place. And today is a very dynamic day because one of the transpersonal planets just started to transit into a new sign. And this is Uranus right here. And it's transiting into the sign of Gemini. Now, this is important because Uranus takes 7 years to go through each sign. So, since 2018 and 19, Uranus has been in the sign of Taurus. Taurus is all about value systems. It's about our self worth. It's about our talents. It's about our money. It's not really about money, but it's about utilizing it's been misrepresented. Taurus is all about utilizing our talents to give us resources to make money. But because of the programs that we are experiencing on the planet right now, oftentimes we are in an occupation or doing something that is not feeding us, feeding our soul. So, Uranus is the planet that breaks up programs. It's a shatterer. So, think about what's been happening since 2018-19. Uranus is really bringing to the light of day what our true value systems are. It shows where things are not working. Okay. And that's what's been happening. So the last couple months, though, let's see. So I kind of read this too. So today, the planet Uranus is entering Gemini. It will remain in Gemini until November 9th of this year. So everything is moving. So things move this way and that way, but they're always moving around the sun. So it's going to, and then it's going to retrograde back into Taurus again. So we have a part of ourself that have to recapitulate and really decide if we are doing what is right for us to give us a sense of self-worth. I think many of us have been going inside of ourselves and asking ourselves, what is important for me to do what I love? What is really, really important? So Uranus is the planet of great change, revolution, and freedom. In the sign of Taurus, anything that has not been expressing our authentic essence, our value systems, may have been shattered or disintegrated in some form or another. So, in this past 7 years, especially during 2020, I think people started questioning, what the heck am I really doing in my life? And there was a great division of people that wanted to follow the rules and people that really thought, well, maybe I have to figure out what's really right for me. And ever since then, we've been doing that. We, as a collective, have been going forward to manifest what is truly valuable for us. And many of us, especially in Lightbody Academy, have been working on ourselves to find out what our self worth is. What are our innermost talents? This is something we should be tapping into right now. What feeds our soul? What gives us a feeling of self-fulfillment and self-worth? But as it trans now, since we've been working on this for the past 7 years, as it goes into Gemini, guess what's going to be broken up and shattered? The way we communicate. Uranus is the higher dimension of Mercury. Mercury is all about communication. But Uranus is communicating on a universal level. It's about unity consciousness. It's about how we fit in all together. So, right now, and for the next 7 years, all the way till 2032, Uranus will be in officially in the sign April of next year because it's going to go back into Taurus a little bit more to find out what else we have to give up, on our level of appreciation for ourselves. We're having a taste of how we are not communicating with impeccability. And let me tell you, I just went on a trip with my family the last 2 weeks, and Uranus has been slowly going into Gemini. And I'm telling you, there was so much I saw how much dysfunction was going on in how I was communicating with my family. Because one person heard one thing, another person heard another thing, and there was a lot of miscommunication. And I don't know how many of you have been experiencing that in the last couple weeks. So we are getting a taste of how We are not communicating our truth from our innermost being. That is what's happening right now. So, for the next 7 years, communication is going to be our goal. We have to have, we don't have to, we don't have to do anything, but coming from our heart and our authenticity to really communicate what we mean is going to be of importance at this time. Communicating from our deepest truth, from our love and our wisdom, our wisdom. Have you ever, I would imagine that most people here have some kind of depth in their communication. And have you ever gone to a party where people talk from their superficial self? Okay, that's not going to fly in the next 7 years for any of us because we, as a collective right now, are moving into our heart centered selves. 2025, the year of the snake, we are shedding skins. Anything that we have outgrown, anything that is not part of our essential selves is not going to fly going forward from this year, next year, and the following year because everything is going to be dissolved, shattered, and transformed in some way or another. Next month, I'm going to talk about how that's going to happen. And even though we will be going through the pain of that, it's also going to happen in a harmonious way. It's not so even though we will experience pain, there are going to be many gateways out of this. So that's what's happening and it's happening today. You're experiencing it. It just went into Gemini, but I know in the past 3 weeks communication has been a big hot topic for me and my relationship, especially with my family. And thank God I have a family that likes to work things out because I even said before I realized all this is really happening, I even said to my daughter, I said, we have to work this out. And I have to figure out how we can communicate where both of us will be coming from what we need to say and come together and how we need to work together so we can work this out because especially family members, you want to get along. The sign of Gemini is the is in esoteric astrology the battle of the personality and the soul. It's second to Rae. It's love wisdom. In mundane astrology, Gemini is the gatherer of information. So all that we have learned throughout our life, even though we are getting information and gathering it, now is the time to put it together so that we can communicate from our heart. And it's kind of a well that we can draw on and communicate at a deeper level. And having Venus there right now, too, is giving us the opportunity to see how we can take that and how the world is reflected around us. I would say as Uranus is in there for the next couple months, we are going to see our true reflection in how we are really communicating and how it is working and how it is not working. This year is a year of major changes. So, all right, second, we're going to come down to here. Neptune went into Aries the end of March, and it just went retrograde on July 4th, and it's going to retrograde back into Pisces again. Now, I'll explain what all this means. Saturn next, I think in the next week or so, is going to retrograde, and it's going to go back into Pisces. So right now, Neptune moving into Aries at this time. Neptune is the planet of spirituality. Aries is a sign of the soul. It is a sign of the pioneer. It is a sign of our deepest innocence. It is a sign of our childlike behavior. It is a sign of is everything is new. Everything is new in Aries. It's brand new. It's the beginnings. You've never experienced anything before. So having Neptune and Saturn in the sign of Aries is Saturn is the planet of structure, and Neptune is the planet of dissolving. So in the beginning, as these two planets are together, and they will be in exact conjunction or new beginnings or conception February of next year, but we are going to get a small taste of that within the next week of how we are going to restructure our soul purpose through our intuition and really trust that part of ourselves. That's what's happening in the next couple weeks. And then as Neptune goes back into Pisces again, it is going to dissolve all that has been deceiving us from achieving this goal. So, first of all, we are at new beginnings. Okay, Aries is all about new beginnings, and we are dissolving parts of our soul centered self to restructure our soul essence so that we are in a great change of our DNA patterns right now. And so, anyway, that said, more time is passing. I think I spent time in this, and I got to get everything in. But anyway, we are going to be changing so much in the next few months, and we are going to go back into Pisces, and we are going to find out everything that is no longer working so that we can go forward into the light of who we are. Okay, that's happening. I'm going to change this. Okay, there we go. Now, oh my gosh, I'm sorry. This got confusing. I think this is part of that communication, I think. I mean, I've been doing really good at the last couple times, and this time I have new people, and I think it's whatever. Okay, this last weekend, I want to bring this forward because from the 3rd of July to the 7th, which is today, we have been in cosmic portal, a cosmic portal of changing our foundations. Okay. And that has been the Sirius Stargate. Now, the reason I'm bringing this forward is because the Sirius Stargate works with our DNA patterns. And so we are in a foreshadowing of how we are going to be opening up and expanding to our truths at a very deep level within the next few months. Jupiter, the planet of expansion, just started transiting into the sign of Cancer. Cancer is all about our deep foundations. It's about our matter. It's about our matrix. And when it moves forward, it's going to reopen up this Stargate, the Sirian Stargate, in a whole new way so that we can tap into patterns, into new DNA structures within our body. Now I'm going to go this. So Sirius is the sixth dimension, and Barbara Hand Cloud talks about it being our blueprint body. The Theosophists taught that Sirius is a major vortex of occult power. And it is the cosmic heart center. Now, I'm just bringing up a couple of these things. You don't have to memorize it, just knowing it is a force, and it is supposed to be a sister star to our star system. It's very important. I read the book. I read the books. I think Barbara Hancock brought them forth. Transylvania Sunset. I brought that forth, and in that series of books in 2003, there was a, you know how the planes can fly over and they can see into things. They can see into mountains and everything like that. And they were flying over Romania and they saw that there was something inside the mountains. And they went in there and they found out that an ancient race going back at least 30,000 years to 80,000 years left some untouched, let's see, I guess off the planet matrices in there. And they went in and they found out that they have a certain time machine in there. Well, in one of the time machines that they went into, they found out one of the origins of our particular DNA system, of how the Syrians were very important in putting that together. Now, this is kind of like far out stuff and all that, but even though we are humans, we still have DNA systems from off the planet civilizations. So that said, as Jupiter is travels through Cancer for the next year, it's going to activate that Sirian DNA star system, that portal within us, our DNA matter that was kind of like a coding within us, a star code within us. And we are going to be able to open up and tap into parts of ourselves that we have never been able to tap into before. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because it's starting next month. And it doesn't mean, it just means that parts of yourself that you never expected to emerge had the opportunity to emerge at this point in time. So with Jupiter in Western astrology Cancer, we're tapping into the matrix, but in sidereal true sky, it's still in the sign of Gemini. So again, communication is going to be very important. We are going to be with the light of Jupiter, which is the guru. The light of day is going to bring forth that deep intelligence within our physical bodies in all ways, in our physical, emotional, and mental bodies. That's what Jupiter has the capacity to do. So our Sun and Sirius have been working together and activating dormant holographic programs. That's what's happening at this time. With these programs activated, we had the potential to combine and blend and activate the DNA within us to create and birth absolutely new programs to enhance and alchemize our biosuit to this homo luminous of what we have been striving to reach for. So whether you're a male or female, you're birthing this into being at this time. So Jupiter in sidereal true sky astrology is taking us to a deeper level of our truth centered within our divine intelligence. We have the capacity to witness and objectively look at our life patterns and extract from those experiences our highest and truest potential. All of this is happening right now. From our life experiences, we have the capacity to distill all that is no longer essential. Uranus is bringing forth what our true value system is. So all these planets are working in ways, it's like cogs, and they're all working together to actually flush out anything that is no longer essential and bring in a whole new life force energy for us to experience. When Neptune and Saturn retrograde back into Pisces one more time, any part of ourselves, any blind spots that we have within ourselves can be revealed at this time. So we are still cleaning up those blind spots within ourselves, especially this fall. And this next month, we have an opportunity to open up by going deep within ourselves, getting into our rhythms, drinking lots of water, which is really important because, all of that is happening. You know, following our intuition, listening to those inner whispers within ourselves. And I guess the most important thing is in training with our inner rhythms. I mean, that's so important this time. Now, I told you, I can go by my own experience. It's fortunate if you can be within a group because we get to bounce off our blind spots to one another. And if you have significant people that you can actually being authentic and truthful with, I know that I was trying, it's so interesting because with all the changes that are happening, unless you have a solid foundation of being in your inner rhythms, I know that I was totally knocked off course with my inner rhythms. And I needed to come back to people in the group to help pull me back into myself again. So it's important at this time to have a good sounding board because all this is flushing in. It's like this giant force coming in. And I mean, it's just going to be, it's all happening. That's all I can say. Full force right now. So many new energies are happening. So we have Saturn and Neptune and Aries. That's new beginnings. And then we have Saturn and Neptune's retrograding back into Pisces. We're finishing up stuff. We're in the year of the snake. We're shedding old skins. Pluto just went into Aquarius. We're transforming to the freedom of establishing new structures in new ways to unity consciousness. We have Uranus going into Gemini and finding out what we have to shatter with our communication systems, retrograding back into Taurus again, so that we can finally recapitulate and find our own genius through what is really valuable to us, what we wish to really manifest, to give us a sense of self-worth. All of this is happening. And July and August are going to be gigantic months to really, I mean, it started in March. I mean, this year has been this way anyway. But all the new beginnings and the foreshadowings are happening in July and August. And then we get to go back a little bit and kind of blend in, find out what we want and what we don't want, and then go forward again in February. February, March, April of next year are going to really bring it all full force. But we're going to get foreshadowings this month and next month. So it's really time to be aware of all of that. Yeah, Mercury's going retrograde July 18th. Now, oftentimes people do not like Mercury going retrograde, and it's a perfect time to go inward and work things out. It's going retrograde in the sign of Leo. So it's going to be kind of like reviewing what your passions are, what you really love. It's, are you doing things out of arrogance and pride, or are you doing it out of love and true heart wisdom? You know, you have to find out all of those things, and some of those things may be revealed to you. It's a time to decide what projects you want to bring forth and what you want to create. And but it doesn't mean you should start it during that time. So Mercury actually was in its shadow July 1st, and I have to say that communication has been very challenging to me in the last couple weeks in all ways. I'm finding out where I'm not very articulate. That's all I can say. And so I was wondering if Mercury was in its shadow yet, and it will be out of its shadow on August 26th. It officially goes retrograde on July 18th, but it will be officially through on August 26th. So we are in a time of reviewing how we communicate with our heart, through our passion, through our creativity, and how we're not trying to, you know, bring forth how we want to do things. We're open up to coming from our heart and understanding that, but also understanding other people have ways of doing things as well. So I just wanted to bring that forward. So if you're having any challenges, and then one of my favorite books about communication is the Four Agreements. I think it's just so simple. So always know, be impeccable with your word. Don't take anything personally. I wish I tried not to do that a couple weeks ago. It didn't work so well. So it's all work in progress. Don't make assumptions and do the best you can. So those are the words of wisdom with all this stuff happening, you know. So anyway, have a good month. I'll see you in August, and we're going to talk about really other big energies that are happening, but it's all for the good, because collectively, for the first time in over 500 years, the outer planets are in complete harmonious aspects with each other. So as much dissension or all of the stuff that we're seeing in the world around you, something positive is going to come out of it. It doesn't feel that way. It doesn't work. And all we can do is work on ourselves and sing our own song. Okay. So that we can do the best we can in the world around us.